Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big breaking news right now. It's everywhere. This is from Reuters. Headline, U.S. expels 35 Russian diplomats, closes 2 compounds. Now, the whole rhetoric against Russia has been going on for a while now. And let's remember, when we rewind the clocks back, Russia was pulling diplomats out of the United States not too long ago. That was something we see before times of war. This is also something we see before times of war. This is breaking on Drudge. Alex Jones is covering it right now on his radio show. Reuters is covering this. This is the big breaking story. But I'm sitting here and I'm trying to piece this all together because the polarization of the Russia narrative is reaching an all-time high where people on the left or whoever takes everything the mainstream media or government says at face value are totally buying this. And they're totally buying that Russia's the bad guy. They're totally buying that we need to do something about Russia. And they really believe that Trump is basically a Russian president of America. They really think that Trump is some Russian operative. Completely absurd. Completely absurd. Donald Trump, a Russian operative, a self-made billionaire real estate mogul in the United States, a Russian operative. Completely absurd. But let's try to tie this all together. So, what are we seeing right now? They aren't just expelling Russian diplomats, folks. No. That's just one piece of the puzzle. Now, they're announcing, this is something that's been coming down the pike for a while, all of these new sanctions against Russia in response to election hacking, right? So there's all these new responses that we have because of the election hacking, something Obama said didn't exist. And of course, the hacking is a turn of phrase. They didn't hack the election. They allegedly hacked the DNC, but I'll get into that in a minute. But nonetheless, they have all these things that they're doing now, demonizing Russia to try to delegitimize Trump winning office. But then, look at this story out of the Hill, and this is the question many people will have. Obama under pressure to prove Russian interference in election, folks. Tell me. What proof do we have that Russia interfered with our election? I'm going to take things at face value. Okay, what proof do we have that Russia interfered with our election? Well, they hacked the DNC and apparently leaked those emails. So, okay, so our proof is the Democratic Party is corrupt. They colluded with the media. The Clintons had pay-for-play programs. So our proof that the Russians interfered with our elections is them proving that the Democrats are corrupt and interfering with our elections. You can tie that in with the Project Veritas videos. So you've got all of this going on, all of this proof of actual election corruption, all this proof of actual corruption in the Democratic Party, and apparently it's the Russians that led us to a lot of this proof, but it's the Russians that are to blame still with no proof. Again, if you want to tell us the Russians hacked, tell us how they hacked, what they hacked, how they got the emails, how they got the emails out, why they decided to do it, but none of that goes on. They just say Russian interference, that's a bad thing. Okay, so now let's look at the total double standard of the left now. Even though there's no real proof of a Russian hacking any election, I guess you could say there's proof that Russia hacked the DNC, but the WikiLeaks are claiming that it wasn't Russia. So who are we supposed to believe there? But nonetheless, look at the double standard from the left. All day on Twitter, I'm seeing people, they're freaking out. They can't believe it. Donald Trump, a Russian agent, is our president. Russia has more influence in America than actual Americans like Obama. What will we do? We're freaking out. But wait a second. Let's look at this real quick. So, now this is not new. Erdogan accuses the U.S. of supporting terrorists and a parting shot for Obama. Now, this is a new story from RT, and I'm not sitting here praising Erdogan by any stretch of the imagination. However, it is without a doubt that the Obama administration has been supporting ISIS terrorists. Here's a story from Syria News. And again, we find these weapons. This is not new news. It just continues to break every day. More weapons found in eastern Aleppo left behind by moderate rebels. So finally, the government of Syria takes back Aleppo. And what do they find? Western weapons that were used by the moderate rebels to fight the Syrian army. So this is how they twist words. This is how they turn phrase. So what does this mean? This means that Obama was trying to interfere with Syrian politics. Obama. Now, this goes on. You can talk about Clinton with Libya. You can talk about Bush with Iraq, Afghanistan. It goes on and on and on. But for these people to sit here and bitch and moan about Russia controlling our election, Russia controlling America now, how hypocritical are you? Do you not see how America has been influencing policies and politics in the Middle East violently for years? How much more proof do you need that the Obama administration is arming rebels, Syrian rebels, arming ISIS in the Middle East? But you're going to complain because allegedly Russia hacked the DNC, exposed to America how corrupt the DNC and the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton were. That you're going to get upset about. But you're not going to get upset about all the foreign interference from the Democrats overseas, all the foreign interference from Obama, the fact that we have given weapons to the Middle East. You don't care about that absolute cold hard proof, cold hard evidence of us interfering with other countries' politics. No, you want to take things at face value from what they say on the lying media and lying politicians like Obama and blame Russia for everything. I don't know where this ends up. I cannot believe that they will actually send us into World War III, but the saddest thing to me about it is that the poor brainwashed people out there actually are getting behind this. They are actually getting behind Russia being the bad guy, just like they got behind Iraq being the bad guy, or Osama bin Laden being the bad guy, or Hussein being the bad guy. Whoever it is, now it's Russia. And we still have a portion of this country that goes along with it. The hearsay mafia, folks. I don't know what we can do to reach these people. I try on social media. I try in the real world. I try by reading things, putting things together, putting the pieces together. They can't put the pieces together on the Russian hack. They can't put the pieces together on Russian interference because it doesn't exist. It's all made up. It's all fomented. It's a total false narrative. Where we go from here, I don't know. But tonight on the InfoWars Nightly News, we will be covering this in its entirety. Be sure to tune in. I'll be hosting 7 p.m. Central.